I am in favor of saying that we're not going to treat people who are undocumented across the border as criminals. That's correct. That is correct.
I would, in fact, make sure that we immediately surge to the border. All those people are seeking asylum.
We're on a good path at the border under leadership of President Biden.
So I urge President Biden and Secretary Mayorkas to immediately put a stop to these expulsions. We cannot continue these hateful and xenophobic Trump policies that disregard our refugee laws.
They just laid it out for us all. They want our country overrun, so who the heck are we not to believe them? Well, joining me now is Republican Congressman of Ohio and member on the House Judiciary Committee. Jim Jordan is here. Congressman, great to see you.
Good to be with you tonight.
Congressman, every time you come on this program, we got more and more problems out of this administration.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever going to end, but this is really bad right now.
Yeah, and to hear those last comments, it's not illegal to do something illegal. It's not unlawful to be unlawful. I mean, most Americans are, what are these people talking about? And I think you're right, Grant. How can we not conclude this has to be intentional? I mean, any rational person has to reason that this is intentional, this is deliberate, because it just keeps getting worse. I've been saying this now for, I don't know, maybe a month, but March was the highest month on record for illegal crossings until April, and then April was the highest month until May. May was the highest month until June. June was the highest month until July, when 212,000 illegal encounters on our southern border, and then August dipped all the way down to 208,000. I bet it still went up, but I bet there was people that they didn't encounter because they're busy doing all the other things with the Haitians in Del Rio and the Afghans coming here. So how can we not say it's not intentional? It is. And Mr. Mayorkas says we're executing our plan. I mean, go figure. This is something we've just never witnessed before in the history of our great country.
You know, I've said for a long time that it's amateur hour when it comes to the Biden administration, except you add amateur hour, then with this devious plot. I mean, I really do believe they're out to fundamentally change America, and allowing this illegal immigration is the way they do it.
Well, I mean, look, it sure seems, I don't know how, again, you can reach any other conclusion than this seems intentional, because it just keeps getting worse. And now we find out today they're going to send Haitians to Guantanamo Bay. I remember I thought Biden was part of the administration back with Obama, where they campaigned on making sure there was no one in Guantanamo Bay. Now they're going to send Haitian migrants to that facility. So again, it just keeps getting worse. But as you point out, this administration hasn't done anything right. I mean, I think about one that jumps out to me. We went from energy independence to the president of the United States begging OPEC to increase production in just 9 months. And of course, in just 9 months, we see the chaos that now is on our southern border and a host of other issues that we don't have time to talk about.
You know, you bring up this idea of sending Haitians to Gitmo. I mean, as you said, this was the Democrat talking point, that this was an inhumane place.
Yeah.
And now they're going to send Haitians there. It boggles the mind. I do want to bring up this. Republicans filed articles of impeachment this week, I guess maybe today. It stands no chance. Congressman, what do you think of the idea of impeaching Joe Biden?
I think he should resign. Tell me what he's done right. We went from peace in the Middle East to thousands of rockets being fired on our friend and ally Israel. We saw what took place in Afghanistan, where 13 servicemen lost their lives, Americans left behind, allies left behind, $90 billion of equipment and weapons left behind, and Joe Biden called that an extraordinary success. I mean, you can just go down. We went from stable prices to record inflation, highest inflation in 40 years. Tell me what this administration, he spoke yesterday, Grant, think of this. He spoke yesterday at the United Nations, and he said, we're going to build back our relationships with our allies. At the very moment he's doing that, what are Democrats doing? They're taking out money for Israel's Iron Dome defense system. I mean, how does that help our best ally, the state of Israel? So nothing makes sense from these guys. He should resign. He is not up to the job, and anyone with any rational thinking can see that.
And don't forget, it's not just what he said, it's also what he didn't say. He never mentioned the word China. When you consider what we're up against with that country. Congressman Jim Jordan, it's always great having you on the program. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely. You got it, my man. You got it. I always love having Congressman Jordan on this program. All right.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.